Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another amazing Q&A here tonight at Joesph and the amazing All-Star Concert. Good evening. I hope you're well. Hope you've been enjoying the weather. It's cracking out there, isn't it? I can see the red face, red nose, bit Rudolph going on there. Good evening, everyone. We are ready to ask questions to your executive producer tonight, Adam Lacey. He'll be answering the questions that you've been putting in. You can get them still in right now. Just comment below. Or send them in through any of the platforms and let us know what you would like to ask Adam Lacey about anything Adam Lacey related. It could be anything to do with Joesph, his time on the cruises, musical theatre, producing other shows across the world. Just check it out. Just comment below, ask the questions. Before we get to Adam, though, because I know he's just sorted his shirt and his hair out. He's got proper lockdown hair. You'll see that very soon. Evening to Deborah. Hi to you. Ethan Redmond. Hi, Pauline Barker. Hi, Jordan. Yes, blinds tonight. I thought I'd check out the garden. Hi, Hayley. Hi to you. And Laura has also been out in the garden since mid-afternoon. I do not blame you at all. Right then, so let's get straight into it. I've got a stack full of questions here for your executive producer. So fingers crossed, let's get him live on the stream right now to chat to him. Adam, are you there, my friend? This is the bit where you all see it and I don't. Adam, I can't hear you or see you, buddy. There we are. Mate. Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. I was just getting a drink. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm loving the lockdown hair, first of all, mate.
Well, I did try and tidy it up, and I've got a flat cap that I was going to wear. But
Put it on. Put it on, because we are both Yorkshire lads. I feel like we need to get that on.
Eat by gum.
I love it. It's brilliant.
Kind of suits me, I suppose, but it's shrunk. I put it in the wash and it's shrunk a bit, and I've got a big head.
I'm looking forward to seeing you in the latest episode of Emmerdale with the Whippet.
Well, I know, right? That's all I need, and a pipe.
I know. If musical theatre never works out for you, get yourself an Emmerdale. How are you, mate? Anyway, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, mate. I mean, it's very odd me being on the screen this time because normally, as you know, I'm doing all the backstage bits, getting all the questions and panicking when it goes wrong of how to fix it.
So if tonight goes right and we have no technical hiccups, I'm calling career sabotage. You get jealous of other people, so you cut them off.
Yeah. Well, look, stop giving away my secrets.
I know, because we had an issue with Craig the other night, didn't we? Where I could hear and see him, but nobody else could.
No, but do you know what's strange about that is you was like, I can't see him, I can't hear him. And I was like, literally, he was not on my control panel at all. I couldn't remove him, I couldn't add him, I couldn't see nothing. I could see you and me, but that was it. So I thought he disappeared completely until I saw people commenting saying we can still see and hear him.
Technology is great when it works, isn't it?
Right? You know.
So this amazing concert that's happening very, very soon. Loads of great names. I've had the joy to interview most of them over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But you are the executive producer. You are the backbone behind it, so to speak.
Yeah. And with that comes its own trials and tribulations, you know. It's great. In fact, today, I can tell you all that the audio has now been finished by night. Right? I have it all in, and that's over to the film editor, a guy called Carl Crook, and he is having that sent to me tomorrow. So all on the buzzers now. We've just got to send it back to Really Useful Group for them to give it a thumbs up, and away we go.
So have we got a time frame of what we're looking at in regard? Are you straight on the beer already?
It's an on-off.
Have we got a time frame?
I told you I forgot that I'm on the camera. Eh?
I know.
Have we got a time scale? So, as I say, it goes to Really Useful Group tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, sorry, Monday. And then hopefully they will come back to us by Wednesday. And we'll have a date to announce on Wednesday this coming week. So
look forward to it. Right then, so are we ready to get into these questions, Adam?
Why not? I've seen enough people do it and struggle, so.
I know. Remember, keep your questions coming in for Adam if there's anything you want to ask him. I've been looking forward to this interview above any of them. Me and Adam go way, way back.
Many centuries ago.
Many centuries ago. So putting him under pressure is what I've been looking forward to, and was the cherry on the top of this contract for me to do all these Q&As was questioning Adam.
Yeah,
so
yeah. In fact, it was, you said to me, do I get to interview you? Literally, when I said, could you do this job? You went, only if I get to interview you.
That's it. And here we are. And here we are. So please put your awkward questions or any form of questions below in the comments. Even though Adam is still in control of the questions, I can see them here as well. So fingers crossed, we'll get some good ones. Right, straight into it, Adam. Are you ready, my friend?
Yeah, go for it.
First question comes from me.
Okay, go for it.
You ready? It's a good one, this. From Adam Smith from West Yorkshire. Sounds like a very talented guy. Just something to ask you. Have you got any stories about shower damage or hijacking anybody's phone in Hooters, Washington, in DC?
Yeah, I've got two. Funny you should mention it. It's almost like you were there. So the shower damage, yes, you're on about the Blackpool North Pier Theatre.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
Where we was there, we was doing a show. And at a very prestigious theatre, actually.
Yeah, Joe Longthorne Theatre now.
Is that what it's called now?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so there you go. And we were there, and was it you in the shower or was it me? Obviously, we weren't in the shower.
I was no, not together. Oh God, no. I was in the shower first, and then I got out to have my hair and makeup done. How showbiz does that sound?
Yeah.
And then you got in the shower, and that's when we've got a knock on the door. It's like, turn their shower on. It was leaking onto the stage, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then it's funny because there's a video actually of the backstage. What was it? Who's his name? Gary
Stevens.
Gary Stevens. And you can see the guy, the technician, with this cardboard on the floor backstage trying to mop up this water, and you can see it dripping over the pipes. But that was a venue that we realised after getting in the shower, we had no towel.
Yes.
Yeah, go figure. Anyway, it was good. It was good, dude. Hooters in Washington.
Yeah, Hooters Diner in Washington, DC. Tell me about hijacking my phone.
Well, let's talk about how we got there in the first place. So I randomly met you when I was doing a job in Washington, and you was on a road trip, and you promised me a great time at Hooters, bigging it up, and we went to the most disappointing Hooters in history. And then, so as you do, you hijack someone's phone when they're stupid enough to leave it on the table.
Now, if you follow me on social media, on my Facebook, you may, or Instagram or Twitter, I may have put this up. If not, I'll do it after the interview. Adam hijacked my phone, but he hijacked my phone in regards of 65 pictures of him putting dollars down his top, doing cleavage shots and everything else. I'm going to ruin your career live right now.
Look,
but I'll put it on after. But
yeah, we'll put it on the page.
Yeah, there we go. Right, let's get into the serious stuff now.
Cool.
Laura Cooper, what have you enjoyed the most about working on the concert? Secondly, what is your fondest memory of working in the arts and entertainment industry? One from musical theatre, cruise ships, cabaret concerts, etc.
I'm going to have to put these back on because I can't actually see the bloody question. Okay.
I've just read it.
I know, but look, it was a long question, that wasn't it? Talk about get your money's worth. Okay. Have you enjoyed... right, secondly, what's your...
If you're going to reread the question, do you even need me?
I know, right? Okay, sorry. Reading myself. What have I enjoyed most? Do you know what? I was saying this the other day. What I've enjoyed most is when the project started, it was just an instrumental. You know, you just had the orchestra, which sounds great. But then you get one voice and you start buzzing and you're going, oh, that sounds great. Now we've got one voice that's going to sound amazing. And then you get two. And eventually you get up to the 32 cast members that you've got in the show. And you're just, wow. But to top it off, then, like I said today, I've got the tracks back off Nigel. And you hear how he's then turned what you had into even something even bigger.
Yeah.
And as a fan of Joesph, you know, it was Joesph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat that got me into musicals in the first place. And to hear what Nigel's done to it, and Nigel did the original Palladium with Jason Donovan soundtrack, all those sounds come back. And I think for me, that's been one of the most enjoyable bits of doing the concert. And then secondly, there are loads of fond memories. I mean, I couldn't really sum up one because I've done a lot. Like my main job is singing, you know, and producing is kind of a side that I've done for the last few years. But I mean, getting to direct The Lion King at the Smithsonian Museum in Washington and producing that concert, that was amazing. performing in New York, performing to 85,000 people live at Etihad Stadium. I mean, there's been loads to go through. I could do an evening just chatting about that.
We'll get it planned for when we've got no else on.
Yeah, why not next week?
Yeah, man. I'm sure people would love to see that. There you go, Laura. Thank you for your question. Sean Costley, how has lockdown been for you? And have you been doing anything apart from organising this fabulous Joesph concert for us all?
Okay, so lockdown, as you can see, normally my hair's quite short. I always have this quiff. It's got quite long over the top, but it has been a bit of a nightmare during lockdown. But Joesph, obviously, apart from this, I mean, Joesph has kept me busy, but planning what's beyond Joesph has been something that I've been doing, and running my other shows alongside it, working how we're going to fit those in. And also, I mean, I hate DIY and I hate gardening, and I'm just not that kind of person. I'm all about show business, darling. And however, I'm very proud. I've got bought for an early Father's Day present a massive barbecue, like one of those Texas style ones.
Yeah.
And the people who I'm working with on Joesph, the creative team, we have a WhatsApp group, and I've sent them a picture, and they're all coming round apparently for a barbecue. But it's massive. I've invited you around as well.
You have, yeah. I'm hoping that you'll have like some form of comical apron. If not, I know a friend that works at Hooters in New York, so we could probably get a Hooters one shipped over for you.
Yeah, do you know what? I would love an apron. I mean, if anyone wants to send me an apron, a comical apron, I would love that. But I ain't got one yet, so
Cool, we'll make it happen. There you go, Sean. Thank you for your question, my friend. Elizabeth Aiken, you have worked on cruise ships. Is that right? How do you like working on the cruises, and where is your favourite places to go? Thank you for your question, Elizabeth.
Well, I mean, I don't work on the cruise ships at the minute. I had quite a number of contracts cancelled due to COVID-19, but yes, I do work on the cruise ships as a headline act. I fly on for a week, do one show, and I come home. It's great. Having worked in theatres doing musicals up until about 2015, it was a great opportunity when they said, "Do you want to start doing a solo show?" I was like, "Yes, of course." Choose what I want to do and sing what I want to sing. But so it's been a blast. And my favourite place to go, I'm trying to rattle my brain. I mean, where do you not go on a cruise ship? But one place that will always stick out for me as an amazing place, probably Singapore.
Right? Why?
Do you know what? It's really bad. It's like a typical Brit abroad kind of thing to say, but it had all its own culture, and all of that goes with it. But it was still very westernized in terms of you wasn't like a tourist in a sense. You can appreciate its local like heritage, but without kind of that whole where you're scrambling through Google Translate to work out what's going on.
We've all been there.
Otherwise, I would say not on a cruise would be Washington, or flying over the Andes when I was doing a cruise in Chile. I had a 17.5-hour direct flight. I didn't even know they flew that long. So
I didn't think
they stopped. But I'm flying over the Andes, which was pretty great.
So you're well travelled and well performed, which is one of the good things that makes you so perfect in the role for executive producing. Like you said there, obviously, about the directing the Lion King of the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., which is just an amazing.
Can you see them? They're pieces from the production. There you go.
Now, are they yours or did you steal them? Because a question that keeps coming up, have you ever stolen anything from a cast? What about those?
I got to keep them, and we got the for those who have seen the stage show, and similar to the film, at the beginning they had the dummy Simba as a baby, and we got to keep that, but I gave that away. But also in my garage, I got to take a costume home. So we've got the headpieces for Simba and Mufasa, and we got Rafiki's costume, and that's in a box in the garage in storage. Brilliant.
So you could just do at your barbecue. You could do a production of Lion King.
Do barbecue. When the burgers are ready, do their little. Why not?
Do you want ketchup or not? Right, on to number 5. Enough of my singing. David Gibbons, which other shows have you produced or worked on?
So I have produced a show called One Day More, which is a tribute to the musicals. A lot of them are musical theatre based. So that was a more of a Les Miserables themed show, and it contained a lot of past Les Mis members. And that was meant to go on tour later this year, but it's probably going to be postponed to next year. I have worked on a show called Broadway Nights, very similar theme to One Day More. I mean, it's pretty much it's like all kind of these musical theatre review shows. It's the same format, with different combinations of males and females, so.
But it works.
Well, that's it. It works, and then we've got 2 other shows. One is called Il Destino, which is a classical crossover duo, and another one called Forever Tenors. And then I produce my own show when I do that, and work with that.
Yeah.
And I've got my fingers in little pies, along the years. I mean, it's funny, I was locked down. A lot of people probably know, but when you're clearing out, like I say, you're bored and you're looking for things to do. And I'm quite a bad hoarder of stuff because I quite like to say, I'll keep that in case I ever come back to it. And I was clearing out a lot of old scripts and bits and bobs. And it's amazing. I think it's a real sad thing to realize I've got to the age where I can actually say I've forgotten more stuff than most people know. I think when you get to an age where you can say that to someone younger, like, God, I forgot I did that, or I forgot someone asked me to produce that, or look at that script, or whatever. It's crazy, but yeah.
I think the theme that we've got from speaking to people on here that have had glittering careers like yourself, and you chat to them, and as you're talking to them, they remember more, and they don't realise until chats like this how much they've actually done and how much they've impacted people with their performances, especially with Joesph. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some dire stuff. I mean, I looked through some stuff and I was rereading it, and there was one that was submitted, and it was called Spoof. I literally completely forgot until I started reading the score of a song called Blackmail and the lyrics in it. Yeah, there's something else. I mean, I just thought, garbage.
What's that? Somebody wants to hear you sing it, Adam.
Do you know what? I couldn't sing it. I can't even remember how the tune goes.
Can you give us a line?
If I could remember where they were, I'd actually get it out and sing a little bit. But it was something like, do you know what? I tell you what, I'll come back to it in a bit. I'll have a look. Okay.
We won't forget. All right.
Yeah.
Right. There you go, David. More on that still to come. Samuel Lomas now. Hi, Adam. Me and my family can't wait to watch this Joesph show. We have seen it many times in London and on tour. It's our favourite musical. We are going to all watch it together. Roughly what date will it be on?
So, as I say, we've got the movie editor who's finishing up tomorrow. All the music has been recorded now and finished. I'm going to submit it to RUG as part of our agreement with them on Monday. And I'm hoping that they'll sign it off and we can post a release date on Wednesday, which obviously we've got to factor in the press night. We've done a lot of quizzes hosted by Laura and Robbie.
Yeah.
And the rest of it. And these are online competitions that have won press night tickets. So we've got to fit in a press night first. But it will either be the end of next week or the week after.
Okay, brilliant. There you go, Samuel. Just keep up to date with our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just keep up to date on them. We'll keep you informed of when it's going to happen. And it's good that it's getting sooner rather than later now. When I first started doing these interviews, it was like end of month, maybe next month or whatever. Yeah. Whereas now it's like it's so close. We can see the colours of it come in.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I thought that this was going to be a short project, like 2-3 weeks, which I thought that's great, and I'll crack on with something else. And at the time, I was also working with Kerry Ellis on a music video with Duncan James and Zoe Tyler.
I've seen that.
You've seen that? Yeah, cool. So I produced that as well. And I thought, this will be another short little project, because that was done in like 3 days. And I knew this would be a bit longer, because obviously that was a cast of 3 and this is a cast of 32, as I say. But I didn't imagine that 9 weeks later I'd still be getting asked when is it going to come out and not really having a definite answer. But it's so close now. It is really close.
Yeah, I mean, when you first invited me and asked me to be part of it in regards to asking these questions, like just be a week or so, and I think are we on week 3 or 4 now?
I know, right? I know.
I'm loving it. It's like I was saying to Sally the other day. I've never seen such a sense of community as with Joesph. You know, it's such a good following. You know, such a good fan base, and it's like a little family. It's brilliant.
Yeah, but that's it. It is, and the thing was, I'm just typing you a question actually that someone's popped up. Sorry, like I say, I'm doing it all.
It's all right, Adam. We'll wait for you to answer your question on your Q&A.
I know. I know. They said, "Do you want anyone else to do it?" And I said, "No, it's all right. I'll manage." But yeah. Anyway, it's because I don't know. Can you see the comments? That would make it easier for me.
I can. Yes, I've loaded them up on purpose because I thought you might not be able to do it. But you
Cool,
tried to
all
be
right.
more. So I've just got your question there. So we'll do that in a bit.
Okay. Cool.
Right.
So,
Moving on.
You
What?
asked me something, and I just didn't. I didn't answer it for you.
Hi, Adam. Me and my family can't wait to watch this
Oh
Joesph
no,
show.
I've done that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've done that. That
Yeah.
was for Samuel.
All right.
Thank you, Samuel. Peter Black. Joesph is definitely my favourite musical. This time, me and my sister can sing along at home and not get told off or get the glancing stares. Will it be available on YouTube as well?
It will. So part of the agreement originally was just asked to be put on Facebook because that's obviously what was the first thing we was discussing. But YouTube, and this is why I had to go to Universal, because YouTube are very heavy. I mean, anyone who's uploaded any video to YouTube, at the minute it's got someone else's music in it, he'll flag up and say this has got a copyright claim on.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we was able to strike a deal with Universal Pictures, I guess it is called, Universal Group, who will also waiver their rights so that any money raised from the video plays will also go to acting for others. And so, yes, it will be on YouTube.
That's great. That's very nice of Universal to do that. Thank you, Universal, if you are watching. Next question, Ryan Williams. Adam, how long have you been in BGT?
Well, 1 minute. Where I've gone, I've lost myself. There we go. Ryan Williams. It's up on screen now. Okay. So how long have you been in BGT? Okay. Well, I've got to tell you, I've never done Britain's Got Talent.
Have you never done it? Does Ryan know something we don't? Have you ever done it like dressed as something, like maybe as a stormtrooper or as a dog? Have you ever done it like that? Is that what he's clicking onto? Have you been on that and not told us?
No. So actually, I tell a lie. I did audition for Britain's Got Talent. Probably, I think it was 2011.
Oh, it's all coming out now.
And however, I didn't get onto the TV round, and it was a year that Jai McDowell won it.
Right.
And I was at a point where I just thought I will see where it goes. No, I went on there. I didn't go on with the whole kind of my dog got run over with a Britain's Got Talent audition form in its mouth or whatever, and I just knew it was going to be Destiny or some rubbish like that. They literally said, "What do you do?" And I went, "I'm a professional singer." And then when I left that, everyone said to me, "Why did you do that for? You should have told them some story about your life." And I was like, "Oh, but I just didn't think, you know." But then, funny enough, as my career's progressed, you know, and I've got more and more established, the amount of times I've got asked by the producers of these shows, because it's all, I shouldn't really say, but it's all, most people know now, it's all staged, you know.
Yeah.
The only people who audition usually are the people who they want to put on the show to laugh at, bar the odd few. But the ones that you are blown away by are normally people that have been approached because they're on an agency's books or something like that. And the amount of people who've come to me and said, "Can you do X Factor? Can you come on Britain's Got Talent? Can you come on The Voice? Can you do," what was that? Is it 101 or something, where it's the TV?
Altogether now, I think it was.
Altogether now. Yeah. I was asked to do that. I was meant to be on the last series of Britain's Got Talent, but we decided literally the day before that we weren't going to do it. And that was to go straight onto the live TV rounds in Manchester. And we said, you know what, actually, I'd rather be known as someone who made it, you know, their own way than be someone who came runner-up or something like that on Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough. And I think if you were to do that, I don't think you'd have the experience and the advice that a lot of the people that we've been chatting to have on here. You know, that a lot of people like Ryan have been asking for advice on their career and progressing it. And I think if you hadn't done everything bar BGT, you wouldn't be able to give that advice. If your advice was just gone BGT,
Yeah.
you're putting people in a vulnerable position there, which instead of being able to just learn it like most people had to before talent shows.
Yeah, I think, to be fair, Britain's Got Talent and the likes of those shows are great, because for some people, they do put them on the map, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And they do elevate their careers beyond what they could have done by themselves. But for a lot of people, I mean, unless you're, and it sounds awful when I say this, but a real exceptional talent, you know, a lot of time those shows are almost like a modern day freak show. They put people on there just to be ridiculed. The thing is, what people don't also see is there's people don't go on that show and just audition in front of Simon Cowell as their first audition. There's many, many rounds before that where you interviewed in front of a camera, and then you meet someone else, and then they'll call you to the TV round. And I think it's so unfair to, when they've gone through all of that, that someone hasn't stopped them at that point and said, for your own benefit, we're not going to put you on TV to be laughed at. You know, you might think that you're a great singer, but you're not that great, or you're not that talented in that area. Instead, what they do is they chuck them on front of national television, and then, you know, that person's got to live with the fact that they've been portrayed in a certain way on TV and laughed at, you know?
Yeah. So. I mean, in this, obviously for legal reasons, we do have to say that ITV do follow regular protocol in regards to offering support and advice for their artists and talents. Yeah. You don't want you getting sued, Adam.
I don't care. Bring it on. I'll tell you how it is.
There you go, Ryan. On to Rhys Jones now. What are you looking forward to the most after lockdown?
Go get him a haircut. Oh my God, I can't tell you.
Auditioning for Emmerdale.
Yeah, or auditioning for Emmerdale. I mean, what was it Keith Jack was on? And he was saying he would be on Coronation Street as some weird...
A Jack the Ripper character as well. Yeah. That was brilliant, that idea.
I think I'd just go for someone like... do you remember Heartbeat, Greengrass?
Yeah.
I think I could pull that off, you know. Just sit there, you know, in a tramp's coat.
You wouldn't need a haircut then, would you?
No.
You'd be fine. But in regards to, like, obviously you're used to travelling, you're used to performing, you know, all of that, what would you most look forward to be doing after lockdown?
Well, I do my live shows every Wednesday, as a lot of people will know. And that's been nice to perform to an audience, especially doing songs that I don't normally do in my live show. Yeah. But I will be looking forward to just getting back out there and essentially doing my job, you know, which has been drastically affected by, as you know yourself, you know, you're out and about yourself.
Yeah.
And we can't do our jobs while lockdown's on. So I'm looking forward to getting back to work in the real sense of it.
Yeah. There you go, Rhys. Casey White now. I have watched some of your live shows. Fabulous singing. What shows have you done, and what is your dream role?
So, if we didn't include all the bits, as I mentioned earlier, that I'd forgotten that I'd done, because I've done a few where it's been workshop stages. So you'll go in and you'll sing, like, for a demo cast recording that goes off to get producers to back it and stuff. And some of them have been really good, and some haven't made it to my CV. But in terms of shows, I've done South Pacific by Russell Hamstein, obviously. I've done, when I was a kid, I did Joesph, and I did it again when I was a bit older. And then I stood in, actually, as a Joesph for Guernsey during their rehearsal period. I can't remember what happened to their Joesph, and they did have an understudy, but I was there, and they just asked me to put the coat on and sing in the role for their rehearsal, which was kind of nice to revisit it. I've done Evita, where I was in the ensemble, and then I also got the chance more recently to do it again and play Juan Perón, the Argentine president, which was great to do. He has a fantastic song. I did White Christmas at the West Yorkshire Playhouse with Darren Day. That's where we met. He
mentioned that in his interview, and how a great performance it was.
Cool, yeah, it was fun. Do you know what? It was great. So I can't tap dance to save my life. I did dance at drama school and extra lessons in that, but I never learned tap dancing. And so when we all met up and we start our rehearsals with Nick Winston, who was the choreographer. The end scene where he goes, off with my overcoat, off with my gloves, and you all come forward and you're doing with your tap shoes on. And I just went to him, and he's so humble. The thing that a lot of people don't know about Darren is just how down to earth he actually is. You know, he'll be the first to hold his hands up and say there's been a lot in the press over the years about him, but I've got to tell you that he's one of the best people I've ever met and worked with. I'll never forget that, to say that he is such a big name in just not in theatre but as a household name. And the first day I met him, being a fan of his, I was a bit starstruck because, like I say, he was Joesph and got me into musicals when I was a kid. And he says, "Hi, mate. What's your name?" And I went, "My name's Adam. Nice to meet you." And he went, "All right, mate. Well, my name's Darren." And there were no I'm the star of the show. I'm the person on the poster. You know, you should know I am. It was just so humble. And then when we was doing this tap section, I said, we kind of looked at each other, and I said, "Can you tap?" And he went, "No, mate, no, not at all." And I don't know if he told you in his interview, but this is what he said to me. He goes, "I can't tap, mate." And when I did Copacabana, they in fact took the taps off my shoes, and it was all like on track. and so that was great. And we've remained friends. So it's been nice doing that. And then Zoe Tyler, who is the narrator, she's actually my cruise agent. Eh? So got her. But what else have I done? So I've done Evita. I've done and I played Javert in Les Mis enough times in various concerts. But getting to do it like on the main stage, being the poster, the face of Javert in the West End, would be a great role. I'd love to play that.
Good choice. Good choice. And if anything we've noticed from this, from the Darren Day, is that everyone agrees with you. I mean, Laura's just put in the chat right now, you know, he agrees. I've chatted to him, met him numerous times as well. He's exactly the same. And all of his fans that are looking forward to seeing him in this, they've gone, you know, Darren Day is great, etc., etc. So it's good that people are still grounded, even after this massive success that you've had. And even, you know, jumping on board with this for charity.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's great of him. Thank you, Darren. We love you. Back to Laura. She commented earlier on in the thing. How did you two actually meet?
Well,
me and you. We're not a couple. Can we just clarify this? He's happily married and I've got a child on the way.
What do you mean? You're in the next room. Shut up.
Shut up.
So I was a glass collector in a nightclub in Huddersfield when we met. What a glamorous job that is, eh?
It was living large there, pal.
It was good. The club's shut down now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It changed to a Shea bar and then it closed down. Anyway, we met in a nightclub. You was a DJ, and somewhat of a famous radio presenter. Well, I mean, you still are, aren't you, love?
Yeah.
But
I try.
And that's how we met, and we kept in touch pretty much ever since.
Yeah, we have, and had random meetups in Washington DC.
Yeah, and we've done a few questionable productions as well. I will never forget.
Go on.
Story. I'll never forget when we was going to do that fundraising concert, and we were in rehearsals with the cast.
If it's what you're going to say,
yeah,
they might be watching.
Okay. Well, it doesn't affect you; it just affects me, and I won't work with them again anyway. It don't matter. But I'll never forget the fact that I'd never seen this person move so fast in all my life. When they realised I was not happy with one of the cast members and told them didn't come to rehearsal, they would not be doing that song. And when he found that news out, he just got up and stormed out. And I thought, God, he can move fast. If he could move that fast all the time, then he'd be a lot better for it.
Yeah, I mean, we've done some questionable things, like you said. And obviously the North Pier Theatre, which we've done. We've just done On With The Show digital as well, the home edition, which you performed in from that very kitchen that you are sat in right now.
I know, right? Yeah.
And I presented from this very house. But yeah, so that's how we met, and it's a friendship that will continue for years to come, I'm sure, buddy.
Yeah, it will, love. It will.
I think we should be a double act. Laura's just put, Laura, yeah, you two crack me up.
Well, we've got a double act name, haven't we? A squared.
A squared. That's a great idea. Laura also thinks that we should do a Lion King concert next.
Well, I've got the costumes for it.
They're on your wall.
Yeah, and I've still got the tracks that Disney sent across to do the concert. So there you go.
Cool. There we go. There's your answer, Laura. Mia Smithers, having been the executive producer for this Joesph highlight concert, would you like to do more? If so, for what shows?
Well, for one, I would like to take the concert out on the road. Actually, when we come out of lockdown, I would like to try and take that as something to theatres. So watch this space, see where it goes. But if it was to be a lockdown one with videos, I don't think I'd choose something so big.
Yeah.
But saying that, I might do Les Mis, the highlights concert. I'm quite good friends with some of the people at Cameron Mackintosh, so I would probably try and pitch it to them. Or Jesus Christ Superstar. That's another one of my all-time favourite shows. So
yeah, well, fingers crossed we can make those happen. But also fingers crossed as well, bittersweet that lockdown doesn't last for much longer. So there you go, Mia. Hayley Bordiak, if there was a film written about your life, who would you want to play you?
Ricky Gervais.
Why?
Have you seen his what's
that? You're very similar.
Yeah, what? Fat and Stumping?
No, just you can sing.
You're such a good liar. No wonder you're a presenter.
Good at
her. What's his thing that he's just done on Netflix?
Afterlife.
Oh, I love that. I love that show so much. So I loved him in The Invention of Lying. And so I just really rate him as a writer and an actor.
But if you're saying Ricky Gervais would play you in a movie about your life, would I be the Carl Pilkington of that?
I think Carl Pilkington could play you.
Thanks, mate.
But actually, do you know what? This is, and you'll probably vouch for this, because when we was in Washington, I think I am quite like Carl Pilkington when I'm abroad.
Yes, you are.
And so I'm probably the idiot abroad. But
I mean, just abroad? I mean...
I know I'm probably the idiot. In fact, anyone will tell you I do like moaning. I'm quite a natural moaner. I don't know how that come out then.
I have no idea. This is going too far, Adam. Right, let's... question next one. Rochelle David. Thank you for your question, Rochelle. If you could choose only 3 albums that you will listen to forever, what would they be? And you can't say your own.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have got my own album, actually. There you go. It's just there. Just plug that. The debut album from Adam Lacey, Stars. Anyhow, so, no, what would I listen to? Probably the Platinum album by Queen.
Right, good choice.
I do like that. Les Miserables, the cast album.
Which one?
Oh, no, actually, I tell you what. It's tough. Actually, I think I'd listen to the 1996 cast album of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Right.
And never forget when I went to watch that cast at the Lyceum Theatre, and the overture and the seat rumbling as that chord, the opening chord, comes on. That was quite special. And my third album, oh God, I don't know what my third album would be. Probably ABBA, Gold.
Yeah.
Guilty Pleasure.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I do a weekly radio show, Guilty Pleasures, and that's definitely in there.
No, I tell you what, change it. Three top albums: Queen, Platinum album, ABBA, Gold, and Bob Marley, Legend.
Oh, I mean, that shocks me, because not for Bob Marley, but you've removed a musical album out of your top 3.
I know.
When you are Mr. Glitz and Glam Theatre Boy.
I know. But do you know what? I just don't think you can... Like, if I go on a drive, Bob Marley Legend is probably the album that I listen to. And it's probably one of the only albums I'll listen to from start to finish without skipping a song.
Yeah, I mean, there's some legendary classic tunes on there.
Yeah, it's just chill out music. It's not where you don't have to sing along. it's not really heavy. You can just kind of mellow to it, you know. And I don't think in the way you might be thinking.
Yeah, I no questions on that. Laura Holly, within the audio for Joesph, have you used the children's choir in the background at the appropriate points? I was in the choir from age 10 to 15 years old in London. Thank you for your question, Laura.
Have we used? Okay, cool. Have we used? No, we haven't. We have got a children's choir on the track, but we have not got any children in the production, and that's purely because having children filmed and then distributed in any kind of context of a show. I mean, in a stage show, in a live performance, is bad enough, but obviously there's so much more regulations about online images, you know, and distribution of images of children. So to avoid that nightmare of all the paperwork, we decided against it and would just use pre-recorded vocals.
Yeah. There you go, Laura. There's your question answered. Faith Motes, what is your guilty pleasure food-wise?
Oh, man.
This is the question you've given most thought to over everything.
Well, because I'm not really a sweet tooth person. I can't have anything with cream in. I've worked out in like the last 2 years. So that's kind of scuppered my guilty pleasures for food, because I quite like cheesecake, but I can't really eat it anymore. But I do like sticky toffee pudding or salted caramel, or best sticky toffee pudding with salted caramel ice cream. That's very nice. Or my absolute, it's real like awful to say, but my guilty pleasure of food, if it wasn't to be somewhat really fancy, something I could just eat any time of day, would be Bachelor's Super Noodles, barbecue beef flavour.
Showbiz lifestyle going on there, Lacey.
Do you know? Any time of day, I just crack them out and just eat them.
See, I think this is why we're friends. It's not got to you, this success and whatever. You're just Super Noodles. I'm happy with that. You're very down to earth, which I think a lot of people are happy to see with this, because I think when you go see a show in the West End or in Broadway, you're seeing them act as a character, whether that may be portraying Joesph or Jacob or the narrator or whatever. But when you get to chat to people in this kind of environment where it's at home, it's stripped bare, you've got to talk to them, they haven't got a massive production behind them, it's good to kind of get to know the person and speak to the person instead of, you know, what you believe that person is. We spoke about Darren Day, you know, the press and stuff, but still kind of being a genuine nice bloke. And the same to you as well. And I've seen that with Zoe and everybody else that we've chatted to, Rhea especially.
Well, yeah, and that's, I think that's a misconception, isn't it? You know, that people think because you're a star, you flash, you know, and eat fancy food, fancy drinks. No, and I think that's just keeps you kind of grounded, doesn't it? It's Bachelor Super Noodles.
Yeah.
But I've been sharing cake pictures. That's something else I've been doing over lockdown, baking. So me and Zoe Tyler have been sharing on WhatsApp our cake bakes. And we discovered we mutually like Victoria Sponge as our favourite cake.
Good choice. I mean, are these something that you two are going to share on social media and let us in on the party, or?
We might do, yeah. We thought about doing like a cookbook together, you know. A to Z, cookbook classics.
I like it. Clever work of letters there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adam. Mike Reilly, apart from theatre, do you have any hobbies?
It sounds really awful, but my hobby is I just love creating new musical theatre pieces, you know, be it concerts or scoring. I do like, one of my hobbies is sitting down with a range of friends of mine and taking a song and going, okay, how can we, because I can't write or read music, but I can hear how I want it orchestrated. So I do like doing that. I do like sitting down and saying, that needs to go like this and all the rest of it, and layering up the orchestra. I really wanted to get into bike riding, but I went to Holland last year or year before, and I discovered that after riding the bike for a few hours, I really do not like cycling. It creates pain in places that you shouldn't be in pain.
Yeah.
What else do I like doing? I don't know. I think it's just music. I like music.
Yeah. I mean, are you kind of grateful in this? Because when we spoke to everybody else, you know, whatever line you're in, whether it be TV, radio, or musical theatre, or acting, you you've got something in you. There's a blood in you that you want to perform and you want to be on stage and you want to entertain. And have you found it really, even though we're in lockdown, have you still found it amazing that you're still able to do that online and still provide the same entertainment that you would do on a stage?
Yeah, it's been challenging though, because a lot of the equipment, and you'll talk to a lot of singers, the equipment they've got to hand is to do live shows. And you've had to go, okay, well, how do I make all of this equipment condensed down into a bit where I can create a good sound quality and video quality to the audience at home? And something that I'm thinking about doing is like Facebook have got these Facebook rooms now.
Yeah.
And you've got Zoom and stuff. Because one thing that is really different is audience reaction. You know, you're performing essentially to your camera, which even when you're doing TV work, you still have a studio audience. And so to do it to just a camera, and then you're kind of that delay waiting for people to catch up, and are you enjoying it, has been interesting to learn. You know, that's something that I've had to learn. And then other hobbies, computer gaming. I've just been fortnighting, and I tell you what, my sister lives in Spain, and we don't really talk that often. I mean, we talk, but it's not every day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Since lockdowns happened, and of an evening when I've finished listening to Joesph all day or working on it all day, and planning what's coming for future events and Q&As and all this lot. Fortnite has been my go-to. I'll sit there and I'll chat to my sister, and she's got it. My son's got it. Hell, even my wife has got it now, and we'll just all have like family like gaming. You know,
that sounds like so sociable.
It is, because it is because you're on the phone, and you tactics and all the rest of it. It's great.
Fair enough. Have you been doing it in this weather?
No, since this weather, I have been, and my new, like I say, massive barbecue. I have literally barbecued everything. The only thing I haven't barbecued yet is cornflakes, but there's time.
There's time. I can imagine. Are we discussing the Adam Lacey barbecue wrap party for Joesph then when it's been aired next week, hopefully?
Yeah, I might even do a live watch party, and I will have the camera and we'll get stuff cooking, and we'll all have a chat and whatnot and see each other on Zoom, and then we'll press play and off we go.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm sure a lot of people will look forward to seeing that. Let's go through some of these more questions. Laura says she's 28 years old now, she was in the choir.
Cool.
There we go. Laura, spill the beans. So I assume that means in regards to you, if I've got any embarrassing stories about you. You got any embarrassing stories about me? I've got a really good one for you.
I hope it's nothing from the nightclub days. I'm trying to think of. Do you know what? I think the thing is, there's probably a lot, but I can't remember. I have a really bad memory. As someone pointed out to me the other day, they went, "I can't believe you can't remember this," and apparently it happened like only last year, but I can't remember it. But I think there is probably that incident with the shower.
Yeah.
And someone was going to walk in and you had no clothes on. That would be quite an embarrassing situation.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't think. Not anything I could probably say on this interview,
Yeah. Well, I had to think that because I thought this may come up and I was racking my brains and I was like, what embarrassing story have I got about Adam that A, I can get away with, and B, that he'll remember, but you never remember anything. So that reminded me of this one particular thing. It was a few years ago, and myself and Matthew Ibbotson, who's good friends of ours, who's also a performer, he was up here in Leeds, and we met in Frankie and Benny's.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So I texted him and I said, Adam, we are in Frankie and Benny's. We are good. I booked a table because my friend was the manager, and I said we booked a table in Frankie and Benny's, quick, easy. And I think we said 7:00 on a Saturday night at this particular one, and it was the one in Kirkstall. Came to 7:20, rang Adam. Adam, where are you? I'm just about to walk through the door now, mate. So we're there looking for him. Then he rang us again, going, this just points proof that you are very forgetful. And I was like, where are you? And he just went, well, I'm in and I can't see you. And then, hang on, I'm in the wrong Frankie and Benny's.
Yeah, I was in one about 30 minutes away.
Well, I hope in regards to your forgetfulness, it's not as bad when you're putting this all together. But so far, so good. I mean, what we've seen and the praise that everyone, including yourselves, getting is phenomenal. And thank you for all your questions. We'll finish off on two.
Okay.
First of all, the creative team said, go, Adam. And this rolls on to the next question. It is, of course, the Joesph Challenge. And
Right.
it is, can you sing the colours of the coat and how many are there?
Well, because I know that there are 29 colours, because obviously I've seen it being asked every day. But I did actually know all of the colours before this was even a thing. But it was red and yellow and green and brown and scarlet and black and ochre and peach and ruby and olive and violet and fawn, lilac and gold and chocolate and mauve and cream and crimson and silver and rose, azure and lemon and russet and grey and purple and white and pink and orange and blue.
Correct.
Are you sure they're correct? Because
I've got my Wikipedia in front of me here.
I think you should give it a go. We should get you a Q&A.
No, it's not happening. It's not my forte. I'm asking the questions, not answering them.
Okay.
Mate, that is it. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I'm
Likewise.
surprised we're still on air. We've not sworn or said anything liable. It's always a pleasure to chat with you. Thank you for asking me to be part of this in regards to the Q&As. And I just can't, just like everyone else, we just can't wait for it.
I know, I can't wait. And you've got a big interview tomorrow.
Yeah, Jess Conrad, OBE, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Getting a lot of good response on Twitter over this as well.
Good.
He's got a massive following. He's a showbiz legend, of course. I remember him from the Vegas show that he did a few years ago on ITV.
Was
and
that
of course,
Mick Miller did that as well, didn't he?
I think so, yeah. And of course, the amazing career before that. So if you've got any questions for Jess Conrad, OBE, please get them in through the Facebook page, through the Instagram, through the Twitter for him tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Adam, have you got anything to put to Jess tomorrow?
No, I spoke to him earlier on in the week and informed him about the Q&A, and he's got some great stories, absolutely great stories. One about Freddie Starr and having no clothes on, and I will let him tell you about that tomorrow.
I'm going to write that down now so I don't forget in case he does.
And also, don't forget to tell everyone about, because you've got a new page, haven't you? You've got a new page.
Yes.
And I want everyone to join on your page.
Right.
Follow your work. So shout out. What is the...
Yeah, Adam's convinced me into getting a Facebook page as well as my Twitter and Instagram. So if you want to like my page, it's Adam Smith. You'll find it. It's me in a dressing room. It's not difficult to find. But there you go. That was a bit. I feel like I'm turning into you with this self-publicity.
Yeah, well, you've got to in a day and age where it's all about self-promotion. We'll tag your page in the description, and then they can go and like your page, so can't they?
Thank you very much, and most importantly as well, please remember this is for charity. You know, we spoke about Universal waiving the rights to the music. And loads of other great stuff to help us raise funds for Acting for Others. The details are on your screen right now. If you want to donate, there you go. Just click and please donate. Anything that you've got to help. I know we spoke in great depth with Sally about how it's helped her friends. Have you had any friends or colleagues that have been, supported by Acting for Others?
Yes. With financial grants, I believe that's something. I've got a grant from a different organisation, so I won't mention where, but I believe that it's a great organisation, especially for actors like we were saying, all who've had all the work stripped from them. And I know a few friends who unfortunately are really facing hard times financially, because this isn't a hobby or anything. This is our actual job. I know we create moments for people on stage, and that's our job. We like to do it to bring joy to people who come and watch these shows. But like everyone else, we have bills to pay, mouths to feed, and the rest of it. And while the theatres are shut, we're essentially unemployed, and a lot of people live by their means as well. And so when the government then come back and say we want to offer you this much, is a great gesture, but it's not necessarily what we normally earn to cover our overheads.
Yeah.
So something like Acting for Others, I think, is a great organisation to bridge the gap for a lot of actors who will be thinking, you know, what am I going to do at the end of the month when my bills come through the door, or if I've got any mental health, you know, the doubts and or depression that might come through that. Great charity. I would say, please, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be, you know, 50p to whatever, you know, but
Yeah.
if you've got something, maybe it's if you haven't been for a coffee in lockdown, you haven't had a Starbucks, and you've got £3.50 or something, then, you know, just all it takes is that to go into this link at the Joesph Dream concert on the Just Giving page, and that will go a long way. You know, you might think it's a small amount, but enough people do it, and it becomes a huge amount of money to do great things.
A little input, and it could have a massive impact on somebody's life and livelihood and family. So please do donate. Adam, once again, buddy, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your night. We are excited for this concert. We are excited for the rap barbecue party at your house.
Yes.
I'll post the address online closer to the time.
Yeah.
Stay safe, buddy. Catch you soon. And we'll see you back here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, here on the Joesph Facebook page. We'll be chatting to OBE Jess Conrad, asking him questions about his time in Joesph and his glittering career. And as I've just been told by Adam, a story about the late, great Freddie Starr as well. So make sure you are tuned in tomorrow night here, 7 o'clock, for those questions. Until then, stay safe, get donating, and we'll see you then. I've been Adam Smith. Take care. Good night.